We swam, bike, and ran in the Utah sun. Now we're gonna swim, bike, and run in the corner sun. The champ is in the house. Get ready to scream and shout. It's Breakfast with Bob. We got so much to talk about. How we swam, bike, and ran in the Utah sun. Now we're gonna swim, bike, and run in the corner sun. And Breakfast with Bob.
Honcho Man, welcome everybody to Breakfast with Bob, St. George edition, World Championship edition. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spa, Zions Bank, Quintana Roo, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Clash Endurance, Premium Plus Sports, and our Challenge Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, the 2021 Ironman World Champion, Mr. Kristian Blummenfelt. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Oh my God. I love it that we had the clock for everybody to sign. And of course, you signed it on the number one, right?
Yes. So, you gotta kind of believe it before the race. At least try to go for it. And, yeah,
number one. Well, and then the other thing when we were chatting last time is the finish line is right here. And you said you had been on a 30K run and you ran that last 5K visualizing what it's going to be like coming down that hill, leading and looking back, nobody there. What was it really? How did it really feel?
It wasn't like that. I had a bigger gap yesterday than I was visualizing. But like coming down 5K, it was just 5K to go. My hamstring was starting to kind of cramp a little bit up.
Yes.
So I still had to be careful, and it was still a long way back home. So of course, people were sharing around the courses. So I kind of wanted to kind of smile, like give them like a thumbs up and high five, but it was too early.
Yes.
So I just had to stay focused, do the aid station correctly.
Yes.
Because the last thing I want to do is kind of hit the wall and let out the back section, you know. Because also when you see the finish line, you still have to go like a half of a mile or so out and back again.
They tease you.
That's like the longest kind of little finger on the map. But yeah, coming into the finish shoot, I think I've never seen so many people kind of cheering on, and kind of it was so packed and so much noise, and great feeling.
And you came back at 1 a.m. to greet the last finisher.
Yeah, it's strange when it's getting so late and you kind of want to go to bed, and there's still people out in course racing and trying to get in without the 17 hours mark,
right.
And to see the joy of them kind of crossing the finish line at 16 hours and 45 minutes and kind of being so happy is kind of great to see.
I love it. And you're 49:40 swim, 4:18:43 bike, 2:38 marathon, 7:49:16. First, you're not just the first Norwegian to win this race. You're the first Norwegian pro to participate here.
Yeah, that's right. So we've never had a pro racing in the Ironman World Championship.
Right.
So Gustav was the first to qualify back in 2019.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he had to pull out for sickness. So yeah, it's a one for one of starting. So
when I was looking at the pro get together, I'm like, there's Kristian, and next to him is Alistair. On the other side is Gustav, who both pulled out sick. I'm like, oh my God, I'm hoping he's going to be okay on race day. Were you worried? Because you had been a little under the weather, I think, when we first chatted last Monday.
Yeah, so I was more trying to get ready for the race, and the same with Gustav. I don't know about Alistair, but Gustav was kind of trying to get ready for the race. So at that time at the press conference, he was maybe feeling more kind of unprepared than I did.
Right.
So he just wasn't able to get ready for the race. Well, I was more like, it could go, but still in the race morning, I was like thinking if it goes if it's really tough, like out there, like health wise, I would just have to kind of call it a day,
right,
and not just suffer through, I don't know, 12 hours or so of because it's more racing later on in the season.
Well, you have a sub 7 coming up in a month,
so I was kind of taking it like swim for a swim, and then the bike, and then just seeing how it went, and then taking it from there.
So during the bike, Was there a point, because people are thinking, okay, Kristian's going to be right up there in the swim and going to be right up in their bike. This wasn't a typical race for you, where you had you come back from a little bit.
Yeah, it was off the pedal. Like didn't have the swim that I wanted to. Didn't feel that strong in the warm up and early on in the swim, and lost like 2.5 minutes or so.
Yeah,
and then went on the bike and tried to kind of, okay, now I just have to see if I can catch the front guys. I was really worried about Daniel Bekkegård.
Yes.
Because I expected him to be up front and pushing the pace. And it's like the split you're getting is kind of so kind of bouncing up and down. Sometimes you're getting told, oh, it's 2:30, and then 2 minutes and 3 minutes. So it's like
you don't ever really getting real stuff. Yeah.
And you don't know really know if they're kind of taking the splits or if they're just giving you like about
approximately.
Yeah, so you do want to have it like exactly. But then after 60k, and I kind of got to do the split myself when you do that kind of out and back section. Then okay, I just have to wait for Cam.
Wait for the run. Wait for Cam to come by.
Yeah, and just hope that I can kind of let my computer and just now I go again.
Right.
And he was really going up strong in the hills, and I thought we would catch the front guys a little bit more, but we were kind of still staying at the 4:30 mark.
Exactly.
But then again, I was just hoping that the guys up front, they are burning matches,
right?
And I can kind of come off the bike not fresh. I was still smoked, but but kind of if I just did nutrition well, kept the fluid in, and just preparing myself for that last hour of the race, then maybe I could have a chance. And actually, when I started running, I didn't really think about the win. I was more thinking about the podium, because it's 5 guys up front. It's always some of them who will fade off. So that was like my focus first 10k.
Right.
And then Brent Kerr was running the same speed as me.
Yes. So you're going
440. So it was more like when I came back again after 21k that when I start catching, I think like 2 minutes on the way back down. Then I kind of did the math and okay, this can actually go. This can go.
I can do it. Because at mile 11 you were 3:10 back to Braden, and by the halfway it was 2:27. So you're going, okay, 2 minutes and 13 miles. That's doable.
Yeah, and often when you're hitting the wall a little bit like he did,
then
you kind of the gap really kind of goes down.
Yes.
So I was kind of focusing on that second half and trying to do that as strong as possible, because that's where you can kind of lose not seconds but minutes.
Well, you went from like at 13 miles, you were 2:27 down. By 14:8, you were 1:36. So all of a sudden, that's got to get you pumped up when you're going, all right, they're coming back.
Yeah, of course. But then and then it kind of came quite quickly down. Like I was only like 20 seconds behind.
Yes.
Suddenly I was there in the back, running in his just behind him, and I was like, I was thinking maybe I should stay a little bit behind him just to rest.
Yes,
because it's 14k to go. I remember when I saw Javier did his first race in New Zealand. I think he ran against Braden Curry, and he was able to outsprint Javier. So I knew that he was a strong, could be a strong runner.
Yes.
But then, I just made it past through the aid station, and that was
good
really to see
cool.
the gap opening up.
18 miles. And then there's Lionel Sanders, who at that point, like at 14.8, I think he was 5 minutes back to Braden. And all of a sudden, he's coming. Now, did you see him on any of the out and backs?
I didn't worry about him.
Okay,
because we were together coming off the bike.
Right.
And as long as I'm not fading off the pace, then he wouldn't be able to catch, because I was kind of opening up the gap.
Yeah. And when did you feel that, okay, this is mine, I have this?
Maybe with 25k to go, like that was kind of the moment when, okay, if I do everything right, it's mine to lose.
And when you have to race differently rather than racing from the front, you have to make sure that you're fueling, and you're playing you're playing chess out there. It becomes really tactical. How did you adapt to that?
I mean, before the race, like you go through different scenarios. So like that's maybe what I do when I'm bored in training. I kind of start kind of visualizing that I'm in the middle of the race. I can either be leading the race or kind of attacking, and I can also be down and trying to figure out how I can kind of turn everything around and make it a good day.
Is it more satisfying knowing that, I mean, you really didn't know, like you said, you didn't feel good in the swim. You're thinking, I might need to pull off here at some point. And then you go from that to winning this amazing title.
Yeah, of course, it makes it more kind of great feeling, you know, when they're coming into the finish shoot.
Yes.
And when they've been kind of questioning whether you will, like, for the last 3 weeks, like, whether I will be able to get the race ready and race fit, and you kind of do the percentage in your head, like it's kind of a tiny percentage that can even go to the start line.
Right.
But then, okay, let's just hope that that's enough, you know.
So within 10 months, you win an Olympic gold, you win Cozumel and go 7:21, and then you come here and win the Ironman World Championship. I mean, nobody's ever had a 10-month span like that in the history of the sport. And nobody's ever won the gold and then won the Ironman. I mean, Jan did that, but it was years. Do you sometimes pinch yourself and go, oh my God, this is amazing?
Yeah, it's been strange 12 months. Like 12 months ago, I didn't really have any titles. The biggest one was maybe grand final in Lausanne.
Yes.
And then to now have both the Olympics short distance world title and the Ironman title in the same time is amazing.
Yeah.
And and also this year is like a unique year. It's like double
Yes.
world championship. So
You can get two in 1 year.
It is one more to go.
And this course is obviously way hard, I think, harder than the Kona course. Kona course is brutal, a lot because the competition is so deep.
Yeah, I think it's different. Like some people, if you prefer like a hillier course,
Yeah.
a hillier course gets easier because it's your strength. And
Right.
if you kind of can't, so for someone this is a kind of an easier course
Right.
compared to Hawaii. So I think Hawaii is a course that suits me better.
Yes.
It's more just pure power, and it's not as much climbing as it's here.
7,000 feet, yeah.
But also you have the humidity there that can make it trickier on the
Right.
run.
So I was talking to your coach last night, and we were chatting about, said, this was a decision a decade ago that you guys are going to win a gold medal in Tokyo. And he goes, yeah, that decision was made, but really it was after 2016, because that's when everything changed. I think that's when he came on board. Talk a little bit about what happened in 2016 and how that changed everything for you guys.
Yeah, so we had the focus towards the Olympics since maybe 2010, 2011 when we started with the junior team, and
Yes.
and then the goal was kind of going to the Rio Olympic Games, getting experience. I still had the dream to kind of have that breakthrough race when you kind of steal a medal.
Yes.
I didn't, so I was quite disappointed there. But then we have always tried to kind of develop our training and doing kind of new stuff. And Olav came on board just before the Olympics in Rio, and then just collecting data. And we tried to implement that more in the training in 2017, 2018, going into Tokyo.
Yes.
So we had like 5 years with like kind of more scientific approach than I guess we have done earlier. We have always been kind of trying to do like measurements and kind of
Yes.
doing the testing, but not in the same way as we've done the last 5-6 years.
And you and Gustav, it's interesting because Gustav, when you win the Olympics, Gustav's back in 8th. When Gustav wins 70.3 worlds last year, you flat it, right? And you win here, and then he's sick. So it's like seeing you two guys side by side would be really fun. Have you had a race like that?
The closest I would say is maybe Bermuda, when we were kind of breaking away from the pack, kind of running, and I was quite confident that I would take him on the run. So I was like having him in my back for like 9K before he made the move, but I was able to take him there. But then again, we had Casper up front, who won the race.
So Casper won the race.
Yeah.
So you guys were fighting for second and third.
Second and third. So I guess that's the closest.
Yes.
But we kind of do having the race, not race, but like in training many times. We're kind of, some session we kind of try, kind of both understand, okay, now it's race simulation. Now we go, Now we try to break away from the other, but in the same time trying to help each other.
So when we chatted back in 2019, you talked about, hey, I was like, wow, you did okay in the Olympics. You're like, well, okay in Norway doesn't really count. If you don't have a medal, nobody cares. Well, I remember Jan Frodeno saying, winning the gold was amazing, and he didn't quite realize the impact of winning the Ironman World Championship. Has that hit yet? That you are on a very short list of people who have ever won the Ironman World Championship, and you're the first Norwegian to do that. That's got to be pretty special.
Yeah, of course it is, but also I think the Olympics is very special, and it's kind of just rolling on the same wave now because it's coming so close.
Yes.
So it's difficult to say whether it's like the Olympics or if it's the Ironman win.
It's everything.
So because it's kind of the package, I think. So if it was coming with a bigger separation between those two, I would maybe be able to have like a feeling of one or the other.
Right.
But personally, like the Olympics is something we worked for 10 years. Like that was kind of, and it's much less chances for kind of succeeding because
it's once every 4 years.
Yeah. Well, and even this year we have double championships.
Yes.
So that was also like in my mind. Okay, if it goes wrong tomorrow, yesterday, then I have another chance in October. You can't think that about the Olympics.
No. So October, before you know it, you'll be doing the sub-7, and then how much recovery between now and starting build up for sub-7?
Maybe 3, 4. Like I think the most important now is just to refuel, eat enough, get some easy training in. Probably take the whole day today off.
Yeah,
and then
really? Get a day off.
Flying home tomorrow, and then it's kind of back into training.
Yes.
Just kind of easy rides, getting some volume in, because I think that's kind of helping the muscles to recover. The worst thing I would do, or the last thing I would do, is to do like 4 or 5 days without training, because then my quads will be smashed even more.
Congratulations again, Kristian. Amazing accomplishment. 2021 Ironman World Champion, Mr. Kristian Blummenfelt. Pancho, take us out.
We swim, bike, and run in the Utah sun. Now we're gonna swim, bike, and run in the corner sun. The champ is in the house. Get ready to scream and shout. It's Breakfast with Bob. We got so much to talk about. How we swim, bike, and ran in the Utah sun. Now we're gonna swim, bike, and run in the corner sun. And Breakfast with Bob.
Pancho Man! Thank you, Kristian. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back. Championship edition.